In this, excuse me, in this screencast, we're going to look at how to the activity of uploading a single file, or the assignment feature of uploading a single file. So similar to what we did before, we're going to scroll down, and you want to make sure that you have turned editing on, and we're going to find whichever corresponding week you're working in, or the block that you're working in, and we're going to go into the Add an Activity, and we're going to choose Upload a Single File. Let me move your screen up just a smidge, just make sure that fits in there. So upload a single file. Now when the screen refreshes, this should be a familiar screen by now. You have the assignment name. That's mandatory. And again, best practice under description, I would just implement in here, if you have something in the syllabus, just implement in here what you have in the syllabus. But you want to make sure if you don't, in the syllabus it just says the assignment name, make sure that matches up, and then the description here, it needs to be as detailed as possible so the students have enough information to be able to complete the assignment. Then scroll down, and again here you have the grade setting where you decide and determine the maximum amount of points that could be awarded for the assignment. You again have the available from and due dates, where you set the available from, that'll be the point in time where it opens, and the due date, the point in time where the assignment has to be turned in. Now these can always be disabled so that you can just determine it how you wish by just clicking on these, and it turns those off. But if we come down here to this section where it says prevent late submission, no means someone can turn it in after the due date. Yes would mean that if you have a due date set for, let's say, April 21st, then April 22nd, Moodle won't allow them to upload a document. It would protect it from it. So that's something to keep in mind as you're setting these dates. And it also would not be available to the student if you have a available from to a due date. Once it's past that duration, it automatically wouldn't be available. So if something were to happen, you were allowing a student to go back, you would then have to go in and change that. So upload a single file. Now, one of the makes this a different feature than advanced uploading of files is this. In the name, it says it can only, or the user can only upload a single file. And here's what's going to happen: that if you are to track changes on a Word document, and then upload that file back for the students to see your edits and changes and information, you wouldn't be able to do it in a single file upload. It's only going to allow one file to be put in one time. Okay. Now, if you go and you allow resubmitting, okay, which would be yes, that would allow the student the ability to make changes if you ask them to, because you've looked at it, or allow them to take what they have up off and put something else on, up at least until the due date. Because and again, that's kind of helpful depending on how you want to look at it. If a student accidentally uploads the wrong assignment, they can change it on their own. Otherwise, they would have to contact you. It's really your preference. The email alerts, that's anytime there's a file uploaded, you would get an email. Maximum size, again, drop down menu. Safe 100 megabytes is enormous. I don't think an assignment will reach that, but do keep in mind that if your students are being creative and using PowerPoints or audio, that the maximum size is probably helpful. Again, the group mode, this does not pertain to learning teams, so it's not something that you need to reference worry about. You want to make sure it shows, regardless of what you have the date set for. If you hide it, students wouldn't be able to see it. And the ID numbers has to do with more advanced gradebook work, so it's not something we need to concern ourselves with. And so you would hit save and return to course. And when the screen refreshes, assuming it will, and if we scroll down, there it is. Again, this little box gives all the detail as far as the information and what the assignment is. Also, the available from and due date are visible so that the student would be able to see that right away. It's right there in front of them. You can go down to the time frame itself, and then if we come over to the middle of the screen, they're told on the maximum size to upload, and they're allowed to browse, as any browser is, and upload their assignment. One nice feature that is in here from the instructor standpoint, all the way up in the upper right hand corner is the ability to update this assignment. And you would be able to then click on this right here, and it would take you back to that initial screen. That will allow you then to manipulate the assignment, so you could go in from here if you wanted to. And also, notice here it says no attempts have been made on this assignment. If attempts had been made, it would say 1 attempt, 2 attempts, 4 attempts, and by clicking on there, it would take me to that page where the attempts were, so I could then find those or see or begin to view those assignments if needed. But we'll show you that again in another screencast.